We're back on the Ask Murph Show, and today I want to talk about, is renting better than buying, or is buying better than renting? And this is a question that is a huge debate in 2020 because there are so many people that want to rent instead of buy. And or there's so many people stuck renting if they're in the buy mentality because the inventory is so low, it's hard to find a house. So is renting better than buying, or is buying better than renting? And that debate is going to happen forever because it's all relative to your perception. It's all relative to maybe your stage in life. It's all relative to possibly what can you do with your money if you don't put it into your own house and you put it into a different investment. So I will tell you this, Tim Murphy's stance is that buying a home and owning a home is not an investment. It's a way of life. Renting is not necessarily throwing money in the garbage or flushing it down the toilet like you hear all the time. If you're able to take the money you save by renting versus buying and reinvesting that money to create opportunity cost and a better return on investment or a better return on dollars for yourself. Now, how many people think about that? Very few. People just think about, well, what do I want to do? If I can rent, I have greater flexibility. I have lower overhead because I don't have to pay for the electrical bill, well, depending on where you're at. But I have lower overhead because I don't have to mow the grass, or I don't have to take care of the snow, or I don't have to do maintenance on the property. I have fewer responsibilities because I don't have to do any of these things. And then I also have an opportunity, if I take that money that I'm saving between what it's going to cost for me to pay my mortgage, to do the simple maintenance on my property, to take care of anything that might happen to it, to pay all the principal, interest, taxes, insurance, and to pay anything else that comes up with owning a property, if I'm able to take that gap of money and invest it in something else and make a greater return, well then you know what? I got opportunity cost if I rent. Now, those are all legitimate arguments. But at the end of the day, owning versus renting is about a lifestyle. Do you want to own a property? And yes, it's going to get appreciation. You're gonna get principal reduction, which is gonna give you a better equity position. And you're also going to get market gains because if you invest in certain markets, you get greater appreciation. Some markets get 10% appreciation, some get 6, some get 2, some get 3. It is a little bit of a risk. That's why I say owning a home is not an investment. It's a way of life. Renting is not a strategy. It's a way of life. And so if your way of life is going to be more enjoyable because you're renting and you have flexibility, lower overhead, and you have fewer responsibilities, and you have extra dollars to invest in something better, then owning a property where you're going to get principal reduction, forced appreciation, and market gains, but you get a home. You get a place that you get to call your own. You get a neighborhood. You can have a dog. You don't have rules and regulations. You have all these freedoms. It's what do you want? It's your way of life. So don't let anybody tell you need to buy a house because if you don't, you're stupid. Or if you're renting, you're throwing money away. Because I really don't believe either of those. I believe that you need to do what's in your best interest. And there's pros and cons to both of them. So if you have any questions about renting versus owning, or owning versus renting, which one's better, reach out. Let's talk about it. I'm here to help.